the first 2 seconds.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna. Hey, how's it going, guys?
You're good. You're good. No one's on. No, dude, you're good. Welcome to the Browns Wire podcast. This is your host Josh Keatley. With me, as always, Donovan James, who's looking slick with the stash. For those that are only listening on MP3, you're missing out, dude. You're missing out. Dude, and you're like a good person now. I saw you tweeted me this weekend. I was real busy, so I was trying to figure it out. What's going on? So you're auctioning off an OJ jersey?
Yeah. So actually, this Friday I'm gonna do the giveaway. You still have until Friday to donate. It's all going to the Kidney Foundation. It's National Kidney Month. And I actually have chronic kidney disease. A lot of people don't know that. So I have a very low stage of chronic kidney disease. I'm not saying I'm dying or anything like that. I'm at stage 2, at stage 5 being the worst. So, it's manageable. It can actually go away. There's a lot to learn about. I'll actually be talking about that more on my podcast I'm going to do. I didn't do one the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to do the Sports Dawn and Friends again for the March Madness episode and a little bit of free agency talk. So I'm just doing it. It's funny, like OJ Simpson jersey giveaway is kind of funny just because it's OJ.
Well, I mean, he is a complete badass on the football field. A lot of people
love him. Yeah, I mean, the jersey is like a jersey I've had for a while, one of my favorite jerseys growing up, and I just wanted to give it away to someone that wanted to donate to a good cause, man. Really, like I feel like, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. Let's do some good, I guess, type of thing. So, that's what I was trying to do in the call. But then they raised like almost $200 for their kidney foundation. A lot of people have been donating. One guy donated. The guy that donated the most, I didn't even know. It's just a random guy. We never even followed each other.
Dude, that's awesome.
He's a Packers fan though, so go Pack go for him. But but yeah, man, it's fun. It's trying to just do good deed, man. And also, I was laughing so much is because I wanted to plug this beautiful water if I can on this show. So
just water.
I need to get into the camera. I gotta plug these guys. This is my new plug I'm doing. I'm allowed to plug on this show.
What is it? It's just water.
Yeah, man.
People that are listening are not going to know that is the name of the company.
They're not. So it's literally called Just Water. It's organic. The one I'm doing is organic cherry, spring infused water, and it's a plant. The carton's plant based. So
are they giving you? Are you getting it for free? What's the deal?
Yeah, I got it for free.
That's your sponsorship. You got a sponsor.
Yeah, now. I'm not gonna go into the whole water thing on this podcast because it's not sponsoring this podcast, and that's rude to everybody.
I love it. I love that you got a sponsor now. I don't have a sponsor.
It's just, man. This is a company that just started, and I mean, it's just if people were talking about doing good for the world. Well, this is out of Glens Falls, New York, actually, but I had a buddy of mine that is associated with this company, and it just says you just did a good thing on there. You guys can't see that, but it says you just did a good. It has everything on the bottom, all the informational facts. A lot of people are going to biodegradable stuff now. They're trying to save the environment, save the planet. These are recyclable cartons or reusable cartons. You can just refill it. It's made from paper, so it's cool, man. It's a good water too. It's definitely like organic spring water, so it's not the cheapest water in the world.
Look at you.
But yeah, man, it's pretty good though. Like it really is. It's different. It's like Propel. Kind of tastes like Propel, but like lighter, I guess.
Well, they need to send me a free shipment. If they want to hear more about Just Water, listen to Donovan's podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna get Josh some, man.
But we got a big show today. The Browns free agency is finally kicked off. The Cleveland Browns made some moves. They've signed 2 guys, and then obviously today is the second. The episode 2 of our March Madness draft. Where we draft all-time Browns teams. Last week was offense. We have to do it like a poll version. I put it on Twitter wrong. Most of the comments, though, I will say that I think most of the comments were favoring me, but again, we'll put it up in poll version, and we'll figure out how it goes from there. Donovan's also, we're going to talk about bracket number 2 for his March Madness of the Cleveland Browns quarterbacks, which also got some pretty negative reviews. Those were the first bracket was Otto Graham, Kelly Holcomb, Jeff Garcia, and Deshaun Kaiser, and people were not understanding what was going on.
Yeah. So I think they'll like this one a little bit better. that was the.
Well, people figured it out. Otto Graham got a shit ton of votes. I mean, he still, you know what I mean? Like, he won big time.
Yeah.
But people were like, why is this even a competition?
Like most number one seeds do, people, you know.
But I said the same thing last week, remember? Because I said, dude, why that Deshaun Kaiser's on this list? Like, he played for 1 year. Like, I'm not understanding. But there's just not a whole lot of options there. Yeah. But let's go ahead. Let's dive into the free agency news. So the Browns made what I think it may be the biggest move of the NFL. They signed John Johnson, the safety from the Los Angeles Rams, who is an excellent playmaker, defensive co-captain for the Rams. He was actually the defensive play caller, the guy that transitioned the plays into the huddle for the Rams. A good-sized individual, 6 foot 208. They think they drafted him in the second round in 2017 out of Boston College, and he has done nothing but exceed expectations. He's a very talented player. He's an elite player. I think the Browns made a killer move. I'm excited. Full transparency, I was not very high on John Johnson coming out of Boston College because he was booty versus the run, but he's really changed my mind. He's really played well. He's become an all-around awesome, great safety, and this is a absolutely huge addition. But Donovan, what do you think?
Yeah, getting John Johnson was a huge deal. Our dear friend over at Studian Sports, and her too, Alexis Kraft, she just interviewed John Johnson not too long ago, actually before the signing, over on the Downtown Rams.
Oh, she interviewed with him?
Yeah, she did interview with him right after the season, right before the Pro Bowl that week. So, yeah, he seems like he's a really funny guy, by the way. Just want to say that. I just know the Browns community is so tight, and the Cleveland sports community, they'll like him when they see him in interviews or whatever, pressers. But it's a good signing. He's a leader in the locker room. Really athletic guy and really good in the pass. And like you said, he's gotten better at run stopping as well. So
yes, that was an issue coming out of college, but it looks like he's fixed that.
Getting like a younger veteran, because he's had a lot of playing time at BC and for the Rams. That's a big deal. Especially we've talked about it for weeks and weeks now, that secondary getting shored up. So that was a big deal for them. That was one of the bigger signings besides the Patriots taking everybody. But yeah, other than that, the Browns,
Yeah, they made another killer move. They signed Takk McKinley, who was playing outside linebacker. So he was an edge rusher for the Atlanta Falcons. He was drafted in 2017 by the Atlanta Falcons in the first round out of UCLA. Was pretty much a bust. Then he went to the Raiders on waivers after he got cut this past year. They picked him up in November because I think he failed 3 physicals, one with the Niners, one with the Bengals. The Browns tried to pick him up. This signing was not a surprise because if you follow the Browns, the Browns tried to make 4 waiver claims for Takk McKinley. And they were unsuccessful each time. The Raiders ended up with him. The Raiders let him walk in free agency. 6'2", 250 pounds. Like I said, he fits more of the outside linebacker mold than the defensive end mold, but he's going to play opposite Myles Garrett, probably in some kind of rotational role. They signed him to a 1-year deal. I think it's low risk, high reward. I'm very excited about this signing as well. Like I said, I believe that if you speak to most Falcons fans, we'll bring Eric on here in the next couple weeks to talk about Takk McKinley because he's probably well aware of his game. And I'm sure that they would call him a bust. Those are the facts. But he's got a lot of upside. If he can, get his head on straight, come in 100% healthy, he can be a difference maker. There's a reason he was drafted in the first round. He has an extremely high ceiling. You're not going to find a lot of athletes with his high level of burst. His burst off the snap is just utterly insane, again, when he's healthy. So I think it was a great signing. Donovan, what do you think?
Yeah, I like this one too. Just listen to a lot of like the local Georgia sports talk radio and everything when I was living in Georgia for so long. He's definitely a bust, but he has high upside still. I don't think
for the Falcons. He's a bust for the Falcons. Yeah, I think that there's time for him to resurrect his career. He's only what?
Yeah, he's pretty young. He was a raw talent anyway. I don't think he'll ever live up to where he was drafted necessarily, but I think he could be a solid rotational player for you, and maybe start some games and be a spot starter, which is what he is. Well, that's what you want him to do. He's kind of in the middle, like he's probably a couple teams away from not being an NFL, or just maybe he could be that guy as a good rotational guy and spot starter. So I think it's his mental thing. A lot of Falcons fans seems like he mentally kind of not checked out, but all the injuries kind of mess with him so much. He's a tough guy. Like he's been through a lot in college. If you listen to his story at UCLA and everything, a lot of people know about that. So he is mentally strong, but I think the injuries kind of just got to him a lot. He had so many injuries to the Falcons, just here and there, just so many arms, legs, knees, shoulders, head, and he had concussion. I mean, he's had everything. So for him to come back and land in this spot where he doesn't have to have, a lot of pressure on him, because they had a lot of pressure. Vic Beasley didn't live up to the hype and Tack, so that was supposed to be the two studs for them on the edge for the next 10 years, and neither of them on the team. So,
and Tack was worse than Vic Beasley. Beasley kind of fell off the rails after his rookie year, but he had a fantastic rookie season, and he had flashes after that. Tack McKinley really did nothing in Atlanta. But again, he's got insane bursts. This is a guy. See, I was high on McKinley coming out of UCLA. I don't think maybe that's one of the reasons why he struggled is he was a bit of a tweener coming out. He doesn't necessarily have the size to hold up at defensive end, but again, doesn't really have the athleticism to be outside linebacker. Yeah. But he can play an interesting chess piece for the Cleveland Browns, and I think that's dynamic. I think it's great. I think that an exciting, creative defensive coordinator like Joe Woods was really going to be able to use him like a chess piece. And like you said, with less pressure, he's going to start out with limited snaps and really be able to take advantage of what's going on. One of the big criticisms of Bud Dupree, who was my favorite free agent coming in, was that the Pittsburgh Steelers manufacture a lot of blitzes and a lot of pass rushes for just basically due to the aggressiveness of their defense. A guy like Tack McKinley in this defense, I think that you could see, especially when you get John Johnson out there, Denzel Ward fully healthy, Grant Delpit coming back, covering these guys a little bit better. I think this could be really surprising. I really do.
Yeah, this could be one of the low-key surprises of free agency because he's got the talent. He's still young. So I wish that getting a fresh start too, man. You never know. A lot of these guys get fresh starts and end up being a lot better than we thought they'd be. You know what I mean? So it's a good sign for Cleveland.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you took away from the free agency news or anything else before we move on to the draft?
I know those are the Browns too. It's still. I like what the Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of building around what they're going to give Trevor Lawrence.
They're signing a lot, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing good. Obviously the Patriots, and then just Tyrod Taylor was interesting just because it looks like that might be the one.
Tyrod Taylor.
He just signed to Houston, yeah. So I think.
What do you mean that might be the one?
Not
He's
be
done, dude.
No, but they signed him to a pretty big deal, like to be a backup. Like Deshaun Watson's getting traded, dude. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't know."
Do you think Tyrod Taylor's going to start for the Texans?
Yeah, I do. I know the organization likes AJ McCarron, but like he's not going to start. Like Tyrod Taylor is better than AJ McCarron. AJ McCarron's a backup right now.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen AJ McCarron play. I can't really remember, but I've seen Tyrod Taylor playing.
Yeah, I mean Tyrod's Tyrod. He's never bad.
He's below average.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was playing pretty well to start. I mean, he just never, that injury hurt him. The team doctors messing with him.
He just was never the guy. He's one of those guys. He's just not the guy.
He's a middle of the road average starter.
If that's the plan for them to roll in with Tyrod Taylor as your starter going into the season, the Texans will draft a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're going to draft a quarterback. But that's what Tyrod Taylor's always in that spot, isn't he, though? Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, somebody else before.
He's just not good enough.
Well, they drafted Baker, right? Didn't Tyrod Taylor? Yeah, so and the starters end up really well. So hopefully.
Yeah, he's just not good enough.
Yeah, he's not good enough. But the Texans aren't trying to win right now anyway. Obviously, they're cleaning house. And I just thought that was an interesting signing because it kind of said to me, like, hey, like, we are definitely going to draft a quarterback. Like, we're not going to try to, like, really even – if they get something back, I think it's going to be a draft pick at this point, not, like, another quarterback.
That's interesting that you think that.
I do. I mean, I just think the Texans are in purgatory at best. Like, they're not going to – there's no way.
Oh, they're not in purgatory. They're in hell.
Well, I said at best in purgatory.
You're right. I'm being a dick, but you're right because hell is the Jaguars, right? Hey, look, we suck. But the Texans are in that weird mode where there is pieces here and there, and I don't know. They kind of have that, like you said, they're picking out here in purgatory a little bit, and they don't really have a whole lot of draft capital. And Deshaun Watson wants out, so you're right. I would say that is more purgatory than
they're about to be in hell for a little bit and then kind of work their way back up if they can.
That's the thing. They always got enough talent to just be stuck there in purgatory. Of course, with that new head coach, who I expect to be utter trash, we'll see what David Culley. Let's
the whole organization's just
let's scour the NFL for a position group that sucks. Hey, the Ravens wide receivers, they're super underwhelming. Got it. Who coaches them?
So it's all about who you know. Sometimes I guess they trusted him. That's what they kept saying. Trust.
Dude,
did you watch the press conference with the GM? He kept talking.
No, I did not.
He kept talking about how much he trusted David Culley. He's like, I just trust him. It's like, dude, I trust Josh too, but like, not to like babysit my like little sister. I don't have a little sister. I do have a little sister, but I wouldn't trust you to like do certain things. You know, I trust them. Do you trust them to win games? Really? Like, come on.
No,
but we'll see. I think Houston's going to be really bad next year.
Yeah. The Kansas athletic director trusted Les Miles too.
Oh god.
So
maybe Les will get a job on Houston.
You know, I really liked Les Miles. I like that hire for the Kansas Jayhawks. But I think Les Miles just went in and thought that he was just going to win because he was Les Miles. But whatever, that's a story for another day. This is an NFL podcast. Do you want to jump into our defense, our all-time defensive draft?
Yeah, let's do it.
Before we move on, do you want to review our offenses real quick?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't have it right in front of me. You have it. I know that.
I have my team for sure. So to recap, I had my gosh. You know what? I'll pull it up on
tweet
on Twitter. I'll pull it up on Twitter. Let's see here. Go on. I'm just trying to fill the dead air.
I was just gonna say, by the way, people, I know Josh was talking about the quarterback thing earlier. Otto Graham and Kelly Holcomb did advance and they were the number 1 and 2 seeds. So
why don't you talk about who's next up for that?
Okay, yeah. So the number 1 seed in this group, which is Group B, is Brian Sight.
Oh,
that's the number one seed in this group versus Josh McCown in the first round, and then Frank Ryan versus Vinny Testaverde.
Oh wow, that is pretty good.
Yeah. So looks like I don't know. I think Vinny and Brian might win. Who knows? What do you think?
It's going to be Brian Sight, but it's going to be way closer than the autogram.
These are going to get closer and closer. This one's a little bit better, I think, because I think those
is better.
I think obviously Sight's going to win, like you said. He'll get like half of those, but then Frank Ryan.
Josh McCown's not going to. Josh McCown have a shot in hell.
No, not at all. But Vinny and Frank will battle it out for the second spot.
That's right. I don't think Vinny Testaverde has a shot either. It's going to be between Frank
really?
Ryan.
Okay.
I don't think so. I know that was Bill Belichick's dude, is Vinny Testaverde, but I don't think he's got the cojones. He wasn't with Cleveland long enough to really matter.
Yeah. So who did he replace again?
Bernie Kosar.
That's right, because we were talking about last week.
Benched Bernie Kosar, got rid of him.
Bernie's coming up soon, man. He's in the next group. That's all I got to say. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah. All right, so let's go over these rosters. Last week we drafted offense. I took Paul Warfield. My wide receivers were Paul Warfield and Dub Jones. Donovan had Josh Cribbs and Odell Beckham as his wide receiver. My tight ends were Milt Morin and Pete Brewster. Donovan had Ozzie Newsome. My offensive line was Joel Bitonio, Joe DeLamalore, Lou Groza, Dick Shafrath, and Art Hunter, compared to Donovan's John Greco, Mike McCormick, Joe Thomas, Doug Deacon, and John Morrow. And I have to say it one more time just because it was so damn funny. You said his name was Doug Dykin, so I do have to.
I did. I messed that up.
My running back was Greg Pruitt, which I got some heat for because I passed on my boy Leroy Kelly. But again, and I also got some heat online because I forgot to mention that Greg Pruitt, that's why he was basically the tearaway jersey guy. That's why that rule's in place. He would always wear jerseys that were easily tore off so he could run away. To Donovan's Jim Brown and Nick Chubb, so I think he won that one. And then my quarterback, Otto Graham, to Donovan's Baker Mayfield. So that's what we have on offense. Today is defense. So again, just 11 guys. Boom, 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 boom. Rock, paper, scissors to see who gets first pick.
Yeah, we can do that. You won last time, so I got to win this time.
Oh, well, did I win last time?
Well, I just said, I think I was like, you go first just because, like, it was glitchy on my side. I was too slow.
Well, then you can go first.
All right.
I forgot I had the first pick.
Yeah, you were supposed to let me go first on defense. That's what
there you go.
Agreement was.
Then you're first, bro.
Because you picked Otto Graham first overall, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, they did. And I stand by that. There's a big drop-off at quarterback, as you saw, because you took Baker Mayfield. I know that Jim Brown is historically seen as the best Cleveland Brown of all time, but there's a lot of good running backs.
Joe Thomas, I think, is second.
You took Joe Thomas before you took Jim Brown, didn't you?
You got to have Joe Thomas. Man.
Again, I get that, too, because there's a bigger drop-off from Joe Thomas to the rest of the offensive tackles,
I was
too.
talking to one of my friends about how Joe Thomas was always rated 99 on Madden. Like, in regardless,
was he really?
Yeah, regardless if he was like, he would drop. Like, he would be 35 years old, 37, whatever, at the end of your franchise. He'd still be like 98. And his injury was just like 199 because he never really missed a game. I don't think he missed like a snap, really. But anyway, I'll go with my defensive player first.
I know who you're going to take.
Well, yeah, I said it last week. Myles Garrett. Yeah. I think Myles Garrett is going to go down as the best Browns defensive player in the history of the franchise. So yeah, I'm gonna take Myles. He's a Browns for life player too. So
that's a great pick.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. Not yet, but he will be. He still got some work to do, but yeah, I'll take him. And just as far as pure talent, I mean, I think he's one of the more talented Browns players of all time. Top 5, top 10 talent, pure talent. So we'll see.
Yeah,
career's still panning out. I'm not annoying him yet, but I mean, everyone loves Myles Garrett. Like, it's Myles Garrett. So
yeah, he was definitely on my list too. Yeah. He's the longest tenured number 1 overall pick since the Browns were drafted in 2017. Made their All-Pro team last year. So, I mean, what's not to like, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's my first pick.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and take Len Ford, defensive end. He plays with the Browns from 1950 to 1957, a 3-time NFL champion. Len Ford was not drafted in the NFL because that was back before the days that the NFL did not draft black guys. So he actually wound up in the AAFC and was drafted by the Los Angeles Dons, which I thought was such a cool name.
The Dons.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
the Dons.
I've heard of that before. Bill told me about that. Yeah,
so the Dons folded, and then the AAFC, the rest of the AAFC teams drafted their roster. So that's when Paul Brown added Len Ford to his. I mean, a fairly integrated team that included Marion Motley, Bill Willis, and Len Ford was just absolutely disgusting off the edge because of his athleticism. His story is actually really cool. There's a lot. He was just like a real battle-hard dude. He gained, I think he said that he was like 220 pounds, got up to 260. Then when he got in a big fight during a game, he got in a big fight where he punched some guy. Then they saw him punch the guy, so he got the penalty. After the game, they saw how messed up his face was, Len Ford's face was. They got rid of the penalty. They got rid of the fine. And he actually had to give reconstructive surgery. And he worked hard, even though his jaws broke. He had to be on a liquid diet, he got down to 215 pounds because he couldn't eat solid foods. And they made a special mask for him so he could play in the AAFC championship game that year. So the dude is just just a man, dude. Just an all-around man. And he's a Michigan grad too, so you can't, there's no bias over here, bro.
That's gonna get some backlash for that pick then.
Well, my team last time was all Buckeyes, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was. All right, well. Let's see. All right, Myles Garrett, my first pick. I'm gonna go with Clay Matthews Jr.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I know Jeff wrote an article, I believe, about Clay Matthews being in the Hall of Fame or not.
Oh yeah.
Being, rather. Jeff and Bill, and then some of the older guys that got to watch him in his prime are just they. I guess it'd be like can't compare him to anybody really. I don't know, but like some today guy just not making the Hall of Fame, and it's just like, come on, he should be in there. He was just a really good player. Obviously, about his family and everything. Don't have to talk about that with the Matthews name. All those guys are great. They play great in college and play in the NFL. But yeah, trying to build my team up to really, just not miss tackles and rush the passer. Rush the passers. Rush the pass. Well, you have Otto Graham at quarterback, man. So I'm trying to compete. And a lot of people don't get that too. Like I'm picking a team that can pretty much beat any team, but I'm trying to play against Josh's team, really. Like, that's how I picked my team, kind of. So I went for a lot of speed and, like, athleticism because your team is older.
Clay Matthews is the dude. He was with the Browns from 78 to 93. Yeah. Oldest player ever. I think he still holds it to recorded a sack in the NFL at the age of 40 when he was the Falcons. So that was a good pick.
Yeah. And then now Jake's playing with the Falcons. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Been on the Falcons for a long time.
All right, my second pick, I'm going to take another defensive end, Bill Glass, who's with the Browns from 1962 to 1968, a four-time All-Pro player, or a four-time Pro Bowl player. He was in the CFL before he finally made his way to the NFL. Remember, this was back in the day when the CFL was paying just as much, if not more, than a lot of these NFL squads. So he came back to the Browns. Actually, he played with the Lions before he played with the Browns. The Browns got him in the same deal that they got Hopalong Cassidy, who obviously won a Heisman Trophy with Ohio State. So, again, just a dominating player who was with the Browns when they went to multiple championships.
Okay, I like that pick. I'm going to go with Ohio State Buckeye. You probably know where I'm going with this. One of the guys that's still on the team, Mr. Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward at corner. He's just one of my favorite corners to watch, really, like, since he, came out of Ohio State. At Ohio State, I loved watching. And then just in the NFL, he's been really consistent to me. He's gotten better. He's lived up to the hype. And I think I thought a lot of people, what I saw on Twitter when he got drafted, didn't think he was going to be, like, that great, honestly. Like
I had him mocked to the Browns at that spot.
Did you really?
And I got so hated on hard. I got hated on hard.
And I know even Ohio State fans
people called me biased.
Yeah, people like he's lived up to the hype and kind of he's better than I thought he would be. Honest, I think he's a top 5 corner right now. I have him like in the top 5 corners, and
he's a badass. He was on my list too. This is not you're not. Last time you were taking Baker, you were taking who else did you took? You took John Greco. You took a couple modern guys that probably wouldn't be on a lot of people's list. Yeah. But Denzel Ward, you'd be hard pressed to look at the history of Cleveland Browns cornerbacks and see a guy who's been as dominant as Ward has. And if you look at his sample size, he was drafted in 2018. He's already made an All-Pro. He's just been shut down. So I feel like that's a pretty good pick.
I'm drafting future Hall of Famers, man. Garrett, Denzel, Clay should be in, but
yeah, Clay should be in. Clay should be in.
Becker will be one day. Nick Chubb, hopefully.
Jesus. That's where you took Nick Chubb too. I forgot you took Chubb.
I don't know if he's be Hall of Fame. That's a little probably extreme, but
it's heavy. Yeah. That's heavy.
Nick Chubb.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take a cornerback as well. I'm gonna take top dog Hanford Dixon, played with the Browns from 1981 to 1987. I didn't write it down. 1988? I don't know. I didn't write it down. 2-time All-Pro. Was credited for creating the dog pound with Frank Minifield. Hanford Dixon was just an all-out badass. First-round pick out of Southern Miss. Never let up. That's who my pick is.
Okay, I'm actually taking Frank Minifield. That's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, I mean, they played together. I was going to take Dixon, but you just stole him from me. So my next corner on my board I had earlier. Next player I had on my board, best available, was Frank Minifield. So now I got Denzel Ward and Frank Minifield. That's going to be tough, Mr. Autogram, and whatever receivers you have.
That is going to be tough. Who are you going to have to guard the big wide receivers, though? Both those guys are
true.
They're
both small, yeah. Yeah.
Frank Minifield, that's a good pick too. Obviously, one of the most dominating quarterback duos in the NFL history. Minifield wasn't drafted by the Browns, and a lot of people wonder why. That was because he spent time in the USFL with the Austin Wranglers, and I think he ended up suing the Wranglers before he left to the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns actually that year or the early 80s, the Cleveland Browns made a lot of moves, picking dudes from the USFL. Frank Minifield, Kevin Mack. There's a couple other guys, and then the CFL. We've talked about Tom Cousineau on this podcast before. Felix Wright. So there are definitely Marty Schottenheimer and the boys were making moves.
Marty, who's gonna draft Marty? That's the question.
Yeah. So it's my pick again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take Clarence Scott. Clarence Scott played with the Browns from 1971, 1983. He only made one Pro Bowl. He was a first-round pick at Kansas State at cornerback, but he was a consistent force at corner for the Browns. I'm happy with it. Later on in his career, he got moved to safety and was still very competitive and very, very good.
Oh, okay. I'm torn between. Oh, man.
Oh, dude, you know what? I'm an idiot. No, I'm changing that. Go back, change it. Joe Hayden's still on the board, dude.
I I was hoping you wouldn't pick him because I wanted him as my third corner. I really like running nickel defenses.
No, Joe Hayden, dude.
I
forgot he was on the board.
Madden. It's like this was like a real give it to you.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna take Joe Hayden. Everybody knows about Joe Hayden. 2010 to 2016 with the Browns, still with the NFL, the Steelers, 3-time Pro Bowler. Now, Joe Hayden, a lot of people thought he was gonna be a bust because he ran the 4.5s during the combine. But yeah, that's my boy. Thank God I said him before you opened your mouth.
I wasn't gonna take him right there anyway. I was gonna wait because I was like, Josh is gonna.
Oh, okay, good.
I didn't think you were gonna take him right there. I thought you'd wait. But yeah, I mean that was I thought about it, but I got another pick. Give me 1 second. I have this in like a notepad thing on my laptop, but it won't pull up. I have it written down too. I just don't feel like fumbling through notes right now.
Amazing.
No, it's fine. I know. What do we have here? It's technical difficulties. Bob Golick.
Oh, that's a good pick, dude.
Yeah, Bob Golick, D lineman. I want Bob Golick here. So
Golick was with the Browns from 82 to 88. Most people know him as the brother of Mike Golick and the uncle to Mike Golick Jr., which is unfortunate because Bob Golick was a freak in his own right. Was actually drafted by the New England Patriots to play middle linebacker, which is where he primarily played in college at Notre Dame. Was not very good. Traded to the Browns. They moved to the nose guard, and he turned into the dominant force that Cleveland Browns know him as today. And was the star on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That was my favorite fun fact about him. Because I love Saved by the Bell. Huge Zach Morris guy.
He wasn't on the good one, though, right? He was on, like, the college years or whatever, right?
College years, yeah. But my first crush ever was Kelly Kapowski.
Bob Golick?
Kelly Kapowski. Her and Lisa Turtle.
My first crush was Betty Rubble.
Who?
Betty Rubble, dude.
Who's that?
That's Barney Rubble's wife from the Flintstones.
Oh my God, yeah, Jesus. I was just talking to someone about the Flintstones today because they're saying this is such a random thing, but I want to talk about it anyway. They were saying who's the hottest animated character and
Jessica Rabbit.
Okay, well, somebody said Jessica Rabbit. Somebody said Lola Bunny. Someone said
Lola Bunny. She's a bunny, dude.
I mean,
she's a rabbit.
That's true.
That's sick.
Is it though?
Oh my God! Yeah, totally sick.
Who'd you pick?
Betty Rubble. She's prehistoric. She's still a woman. And Jessica Rabbit was married to a rabbit. She wasn't a rabbit herself.
Oh wow. You're right.
Yeah, dude.
Wrong. That's right.
I think I know my.
You know your animated.
My sexy cartoon.
What about Man, I should do like a top 5 for this on my show. You know, on the Don James Sports Show.
You've only named 3. Sports. You've only named 3. Can you name another?
No, I don't want to name anymore because I want to steal it for my own show, which I'm plugging right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Also, I can't remember my password to.
Dude, are you kidding me?
No, to my Wi-Fi, so I can't pull up my notes that I have on all my.
Oh, so you're just gonna be winging it?
Well, I have them written down, but I don't have the notes by them. I just have their names, so you're gonna have to help me out right now. Unless I text my girlfriend.
I can try.
I'm gonna text my girlfriend and ask her what the password is. Oh wait, I know.
So is it my turn then? Because you just took Golick.
Yeah, it's your turn. Sorry, we went on the tangent there. Sorry.
All right, okay. So I'm gonna go defensive line as well in that same area. I'm gonna go with the only Browns player ever to have a McDonald's cheeseburger named after him, Michael Dean Perry, who was the defensive tackle from 1988 to 1994. People might recognize his name because he is the brother of William Perry, and again had a McDonald's sandwich named after him. So. That alone.
That's pretty cool.
At the highest. Hell yeah, dude!
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Well, I'm gonna go with Pepper Johnson.
Whoa! Former Buckeye.
Yeah, I know. One of your favorite players.
Oh my God! Oh, dude, but he was better with the Giants though. It's weird that you pick him for the Browns because that was kind of towards the end of his career when he was all done. Right, he was only with the Browns for about 3 years before he moved on.
Okay, three. That's it.
Was it? I don't know. You'd have to double check.
I trust you more with.
I don't know. I'm winging it because I believe it was the Browns for just a blink of an eye before he moved on. Basically, that was like the end of his career, and then he played with the Jets for another blink, and then he was a coach for the Patriots.
I'm changing my pick. Because you just did, so I'm doing it too. I didn't.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
can change your pick. But the Pepper Johnson thing, the coolest thing about Pepper Johnson is Pepper Johnson got into coaching. He was actually most recently the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Wildcats of the XFL and was fired like 2 games in as a defensive coordinator.
Well, they do him like that, man. I do
Pepper Johnson was actually drafted higher than Chris Spielman when they came out of Ohio State. Most people talk about Chris Spielman.
I didn't know that. I thought Chris Spielman was like the better player in college.
He was had more accolades. But,
okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. That'd be something for someone to Google as well. But I'm pretty sure Pepper Johnson was drafted before Chris Spielman. Pepper Johnson probably would have had a little bit had a bigger star on him if it wasn't for Lawrence Taylor. Was Harry Carson? There was that Giants defense is pretty badass.
Yeah, true. All right, I'm sorry, Pepper. You got fired this year, and sorry, I know I'm wearing my hat like I'm like biggest friend.
I forgot I have my phone right here. So while you're saying your pick, I'm gonna Google Pepper Johnson to see what years he played for the Browns. I always forget I have my phone here.
I got it up now, 93 to 95. You're right, 3 years.
Yeah, and they were late. He was drafted, and I guess that's not too late in his career because he was drafted in what? He was drafted in '86. So those are still prime years. But yeah, and I forgot he played with the Lions for a second too.
I just read that he got his name for putting black pepper on his cornflakes. That's wild. That's
dude, he did. You're right too. He did make a Pro Bowl at the Browns. He was good with the Browns. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry,
dude. Yeah, I'm still gonna not pick him though. Sadly,
who are you taking?
I'm gonna take TJ Ward.
Yeah. Dude, that's a good pick.
Yeah, because I want to. I don't know. I'm going all in on my secondary right now. I just want to make sure you can't throw the ball on me at all. I don't have to rush the passer because I got Denzel Ward, Frank Minfield, and TJ Ward. They're short now. We don't have many tall guys. We don't have much height. Everybody's under 6 foot. But I'm gonna pick TJ Ward.
I'm going to take another American hero from the 50s. Bob Gain played for the Cleveland Browns in 1954 to 1964. The reason he did not play in 1953 is because he was in the Korean War. That's right. In the middle of his NFL career, he decided he went to war, dude. That's how big of a badass he was. 3-time NFL champ. Another guy who played in the CFL before arriving to Cleveland. So Bob Gain.
Okay. And obviously, my pick is Pepper Johnson. I wanted to.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick Pepper Johnson. You already just talked about him, so you don't really have to. But Pepper Johnson, the pride of Mackenzie High School, Detroit, Michigan.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
Detroit.
So I'll go with outside linebacker too. I'll take Chip Banks, who you probably recognize, big star outside linebacker from USC, first-round draft pick. I was with the Cleveland Browns from 1982 to 1986, 4-time Pro Bowler. He actually was most recently, and this is sad, was the victim of a shooting in Atlanta last year. He lived. I think he's doing okay now, but that's probably the most recent thing he was in the news for.
That's sad. Is he all right?
Yeah, he was I think he was in the hospital for a bit.
Okay, so he's good. Okay, yeah, I didn't even hear about that. Wow.
I think it happened last year.
I'm just reading that Gilbert Brown, Kevin Brooks, Pepper Johnson, and Jerome Bettis all went to the same high school.
Not at the same time.
No, not at the same time. But
yeah, some of those guys 10 years apart.
No, because Jerome Bettis is like in his like 40s still, like late 40s. But
yeah, Jerome Bettis got drafted in '93.
That's crazy that they all went to the same high school in Detroit.
That is wild.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, those are all really good players, and Nick Perry too, new school kind of guy. But yeah, okay, that's a good pick. I'm gonna go with some good players on the board. The Browns have a lot better defensive players than I thought. Really,
yes,
kind of like looking at what they have. Let me see. I've got offense was like easier because there was just like a really big gap between like who was good and bad to me.
Man, I feel like the defensive guys are more new school, and the old school guys, like I grew up knowing about Len Ford. Like the old school guys I was saying in the offensive episode, and obviously this is not a secret, right? And no one thinks that you and I are over here watching film on Art Hunter, and if you are, God bless you. But Len Ford, that's someone if you grow up a Browns fan, that's a name that you recognize, right? Even though I've never seen him play a snap live, that's someone you see highlights of that you learned about the history, right? With him and Bill Willis and Marion Motley and those Paul Brown teams that went to like 7 straight championships. So even those old guys, you recognize their name. Michael Dean Perry is not someone that's super old. Chip Banks, Clay Matthews. I mean, obviously you just named T.J. Ward. We talked about Joe Hayden, Hanford Dixon. These are all guys that played in the 80s and 90s, so it's much more recent. There's a lot of recent history when it comes to the Browns dominating on defense.
Very true. I still really like my team a lot right now because this is actually one of my dad's favorite players. Dad, hope he listens to the podcast because you don't listen that much. I'm just kidding. He's gonna be so mad I just said that. No, he listens. Shout out to my dad. This is one of his favorite players though. Coming out of UCLA, E-Rock, Eric Turner.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, man. RIP, by the way, because obviously, sadly, passed away really young. I think
really young,
like early 30s when he had cancer.
Yeah.
I don't really know how old he was. It was pretty young, but
dude, he was like 31.
31, yeah. So that's 31. Yeah. So I got my big strong safety now, but
paid rookie in NFL. He was the highest paid rookie in NFL history when the Browns drafted in the first round.
Really? I did not know.
At the time, I think it was like $4 million or $5 million a year, which is huge money in 1991. That was back in the day before the rookie cap.
Dude, he's one of the best safeties ever. Like,
yeah, it's
college.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he drafted second overall.
Well, even in the pros, he went to the Pro Bowl twice.
Yeah. So, and he led the NFL interceptions too as a safety, which is pretty tough. Not many safeties have done that, I'm sure. So, I got T.J. Ward and Eric Turner back there, and Denzel Ward. Like I said, Denzel Ward and Frank Minifield. So I'm pretty happy about it. That's
a really good pick. That's a really good pick. Yeah, you've been a lot stronger with this one, I feel like. Let's see, what else do I got going on? So I just took Chip Banks. I guess I'll go ahead and take Jim Houston. Another this will be my first Buckeye off the board.
That's a good one.
Jim Houston, he played defensive end mostly for Paul Brown and the Browns, but I am going to play him an outside linebacker in this situation because he did play linebacker in college and he did play linebacker for a period with the Browns before moving to defensive end full time. Played for the Browns from 1960 to 1972, a nice long career, was obviously an NFL champion. The only, I don't know if he's the only, I think he's one of only just a few, if not the only Triple Crown winners in Ohio. He won a high school championship, a college national championship, and a Super Bowl.
I did not know that.
Yes.
He might have won a high school championship.
Huh?
You said he won a high school championship?
I think he went to Massillon High School. I have to double check. I thought I wrote it down, but I did not. So he won a high school state championship. He won a national championship at Ohio State, and then he won a AAFC championship or whatever, NFL championship, whatever it was when he played. It was NFL championship with the Cleveland Browns. So I thought he was the only one that's ever done it, but I could probably Google it during your next pick.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is a pick you're gonna probably make fun of, honestly. Kind of like the Greco pick. I'm just being this is just one of my favorite Browns players of all time. I don't care if he's not one of the best. I'm just picking
Love it.
Joe Sherbert.
Shut up, dude. You're taking Joe Sherbert?
Joe Sherbert, dude. Yeah.
Why?
I love Joe Sherbert. They should have kept him, dude. Then you guys wouldn't have linebacker problems.
Joe Sherbert?
Joe Sherbert made a Pro Bowl in 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
Better than Greg didn't make any Pro Bowls at all. And my friends were like, dude, why the hell did you pick John Greco? I was like, because I like John Greco. He's Mr. Ohio, man. He's all-state Ohio. Played college action in Ohio. Played for the Browns. Sherbert's a little different. Obviously, played for Wisconsin. But, yeah, I'm going to pick Joe Sherbert. Cause
you do you, man.
I like it. I got Clay Matthews and Joe Sherbert at linebacker. I like it. Instincts, man.
All right. Well, I'm going to recall back to our USFL conversation, right? We talked about how in the early 80s, the Browns picked off a lot of people from the USFL. You drafted Frank Minifield. We talked about Kevin Mack. We talked about, and there was a couple other guys that we mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and take another USFL guy, Mike Johnson, to be my inside linebacker. Played with the Browns from 1986 to 1983. The Browns drafted him in the first round of the USFL territorial draft after the USFL folded. So that's how the Browns ended up with him. Now, remember, the USFL was full of talent, dude. Jim Kelly, Reggie White, Steve Young, Marcus Dupree, Herschel Walker, and he was drafted in the first round. Like that's pretty impressive. Went on to go to was in 2 Pro Bowls during his Browns career. So yeah, I stand by that. That's how you pick a linebacker, dude.
I'm just saying, man. Clay Matthews and Joe Sherbert is tough. Still.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting prime Joe Sherbert, man. 2017 Joe Sherbert. I mean,
well, you picked the 2 bet. You picked 2 of the better safeties. So my safety, I'm pretty stuck. So
true. Sherbert's underrated.
Because that's it. We got 2 rounds left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how I want to build my defense, like what formation. Because right now I got my second.
I guess I went with the standard 4-3. So to recap, my defensive ends are Len Ford and Bill Glass. My defensive tackles are Michael Dean Perry, Bob Gain. My linebackers are Mike Johnson, Chip Banks, and Jim Houston. And my cornerbacks are Hanford Dixon and Joe Hayden with no safeties off the board. Did you want to recap your team before making these last 2 picks? Actually, no. You got 2 picks left, right?
Yeah, I'll start with the safeties. T.J. Ward and Eric Turner. My corners are Denzel Ward and Frank Mansfield. And then my linebackers are Pepper Johnson, Clay Matthews, and Joe Sherbert. See, you talking about linebackers. I got some linebackers, right?
Bro.
And then my D-line right now is only Myles Garrett and Bob Golick, but I'm obviously still building up for that. Maybe. I might pick another corner. I don't know. Yeah, it's a passing league, We'll see. Let's see who I got. Yeah, I'm saying my linebackers aren't bad, man. It could be worse.
So you're drafting 2 defensive linemen then.
I think I'm gonna go with just one more defensive lineman, another edge. I'm gonna go 3. So 4.
You're gonna run a 3-3-5?
3. Yeah, I'm thinking about West Virginia defense. Actually, right now I'm not even gonna pick a lineman. I'm gonna wait. Because I don't want you to pick this guy at all because it's somebody you would pick. He's an older player. Tom Darden.
Wow. No, I don't have him. I mean, I can only draft safeties at this point, or defensive backs, I should say.
I'm picking Tom Darden. He's gonna be my kind of like spur player, I guess, because he's a safety too. I already have T.J. Ward and Eric Turner. I can move Eric Turner up to the box though if I wanted to or whatever, and just have him rush the passer if I wanted.
That's another Michigan guy. That's funny.
Yeah, another Michigan guy.
I feel like we've drafted more Michigan guys than Ohio State guys.
We have. He played for the Browns all 9 of his years. He made the Pro Bowl 3 times, or All Pro 3 times in the Pro Bowl. He's All-American. He leads interception and for Cleveland.
Didn't even cross my mind. He wasn't even on my list, which I feel ashamed about. Because that is a name. That is a name that I like. If you grew up collecting cards and all that stuff, those '70s cards were on every shelf. So that's a little embarrassing.
I just remember he's in the video for when Woody Hayes stormed out the field or whatever.
Is he?
Yeah, he was the one that got the interception for that game.
Was he?
Yeah, he's on the All-Michigan team too.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was ranked at the time. This was a few years ago. He was ranked the 47th best Brown of all time.
Wow. Well, he was an All-American too. That's crazy. That's a good pick.
Yeah, this is a while ago. You know what I mean? But
70s.
He's from Sandusky, Ohio. Don't know where that is, but he's from Ohio. So
it's up near Cleveland.
Is it
Sandusky's where Cedar Point is, dude.
Where? Sierra Point. Oh,
yeah,
really?
The roller coaster
capital.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I knew exactly which time. I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I want to go there. I've always wanted to go there. The place is pretty cool. I'm not a roller coaster guy anymore. I have anxiety really bad.
I took Justine there for her birthday a couple years ago.
How'd she like
it? And she made me get the fast pass for her. Well, the fast pass is as much as the ticket, dude. But the fast pass works. We rode 3 roller coasters in the first 15 minutes of being at the park. And I felt sick. I threw up probably 5 times.
Oh.
I didn't eat the rest of the day. Dude, you need to wait in line. Like I'm like a roller coaster. I used to be. I'll never do it again. That traumatized me. I used to be a roller coaster person. Like I was just talking to my dad about this. We went down for the summer that Son of Beast opened up. Like me and my dudes used to do that stuff. But we never had fast passes. This is the first time having fast passes. And dude, I'm telling you, we rode 3 roller coasters in 15 minutes. And one was
that's crazy.
Oh, dude, it was too much. My body couldn't handle it. And I just kept going forward. We probably rode I don't know, 20. We probably rode 20 different. I mean, obviously, it's not 20 roller coasters, like 10, but we rode like every roller coaster twice in like the first 5 hours. I was like, dude, I'm gonna die.
Dang, man. Well, I want to go. I'm not gonna do that.
Too
then,
much.
I guess when I go, but
Yeah, too much.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay,
Kind of expensive, but it's cool.
Yeah, worth it. Well,
yeah, I can't remember. They got
one time thing.
They got this supposedly the number one roller coaster in the world. Can't remember what it's called though.
That's so random that Ohio is the place for roller coasters. Like, how did that
roller coaster capital of the world, dude? Kings Island's down in Cincy too.
Did the guy that invented roller coasters from Ohio or something? Like, how
that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that.
That's why we need a guy like Billy Football. If you listen to Barstool, he just looks up stuff. Or like Joe Rogan's guy.
Oh yeah, young Jamie.
Jamie, look it up. Like,
dude, we do need that.
Not really. We don't actually need it, but. Not yet. I don't think.
No, yeah. we do enough Googling on the show, but that's it. Of course, there is a lot of dead silence when we start to Google stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's funny. It's kind of a funny part of the show. Wait, roller coasters were invented in Russia, so I guess not.
You just Googled that?
Yeah. I had to.
That's awesome. Well, see, you learn something every day. All right, I'm going to take safety. Check this out. I'm going to take Dub Jones for my safety. Dub Jones actually only played one season at safety before moving to wide receiver. He was on my wide receiver team. Don't shake your head. Dude, you took all the best safeties, bro. But he played from 1948 to 1955. We talked about how he basically invented the wide receiver position in the NFL. But he did play safety for the Brooklyn Dodgers, the AAFL, or the AFC, or whatever it was called back in the day. And he does have one season under his belt as a safety for the Browns.
Okay. That's a good pick.
Dude, safeties are running thin, bro. Safeties are running thin.
You got this man playing like freaking Jabril Peppers in college or something. Or like
that's right.
Playing both ways. Charles Woodson, whatever. I'm naming all Michigan players. Sorry, guys. Man, I need an edge rusher. Like, I have to pick an edge rusher. I can't have two like defensive tackles. Poor Myles Garrett is gonna be just getting double teamed. But the guy I want is a linebacker. So, let's see. Let me see what I got. Hold on.
We're getting thin. We are getting thin. I'll tell you that right now.
We are getting thin. This is the last pick, though, right? Am I wrong?
For you, yeah, for you.
For me, okay. Give me a second, because
who'd you take with your last pick? Tom
Darden, another safety.
Yeah, so you only have two defensive linemen.
I know. That's why I need to pick. Yeah, but I don't want to pick a defensive tackle or a linebacker. I want to pick an actual edge rusher, but it's kind of hard because I don't really know who to pick. There's not a next guy.
I literally have no tips or tricks. Last time my board was full of guys that you didn't mention. Not today, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I got a few guys that left.
Okay, well, let me go to my big board, and basically what that means is just I'm gonna like look up some.
The big board. Google.
Well, I had a big board, but like literally none of the guys are edges on the team. Like, I never thought I would not have this many edges. I don't know why I thought I'd get away with not having any edge rushers. Maybe you took one of them. I'm not sure, but okay, I'm gonna hurry up because I know this is not just something we can just pause about. Can I just move people's position if I don't find someone I like?
I mean, I feel like you can if you get
someone that's like not moving someone.
Yeah, if you get a defensive lineman, you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you picked Michael Dean Perry. That's who it was. That's the only edges I had. Myles Garrett and Michael Dean Perry.
Michael Dean Perry is a big boy. He played on the interior for sure.
I thought he was an edge guy.
No, he played a little bit. I mean, I guess you could. He played edge in college, but as his career grew, he grew.
And that wasn't really a thing. And then you picked Jim Houston too, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, man. Here, I'll just pick this guy because he's the next guy. Bill Glass.
I took him.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. How? Your team's better than I thought it was.
Dude, I know.
I'm going to pick freaking somebody on the team right now. Well, the edge rushers aren't great. Takk McKinley. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to pick Larry Ogunjobi. Whatever.
Wow, dude. You lost. Yeah, Michael Dean Perry was 6'1", 285. Not exactly a defensive
back then
end.
too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Larry Ogunjobi is good though. I mean, he's young. He's 300 pounds, 6'3", only 26 years old. You know, he plays even tackle technically, but we're about to,
there's a couple defensive linemen I have on my list that you could have gone with Mike McCormick because technically he did play. I know you had him on your offensive side, but he did play defensive line. He actually was a huge reason why the Browns won the championship against the Lions. What was it, 1954? Because he stripped Bobby Lane. So he did play defensive tackle for the Browns during that season. Jerry Shirk is another guy that's pretty recent. Played with the Browns from 1970 to 1981, went to 4 Pro Bowls. He actually, but again, these guys aren't edge rushers. They're just typically defensive tackles. Jameer Miller was a guy who played outside linebacker for the Browns. I guess you could have got him. That was a guy who was taken in the expansion draft. He's actually the only Brown from the 1999 team, the expansion team that went to the Pro Bowl. And Keatley's injury made it. So you could have gone with those guys. I don't know if they count though.
No, I mean they don't really. I mean they don't really count. But no, I'm fine with that. I like Larry Ogunjobi. He's athletic, man. I got some athleticism. I just wanted athletes. You know what I'm saying? Up front, Bob.
That's
Golick,
fair.
I mean, like I have 2 D tackles technically with Golick and Larry, but that's fine. I'll move Pepper up, and I'll move Eric Turner in the box a little bit to get some edge rush because he's big. He's like 6'1", 210.
Well, Clay Matthews was a big edge rusher.
Yeah, so I mean, I got some guys.
Yeah, edge.
Yeah, I got some guys that can.
So my last pick, I'm going to go back to the well and Clarence Scott. I know this is a guy I wedged on earlier, but I'm going to go with Clarence Scott again. First round pick out of Kansas State, was with the Browns from 1971 to 1983. One-time Pro Bowler. He started out his career as corner. As he got older, he moved into safety. That's where he's going to be playing for me. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with that pick. Ryan Ring has a couple questions for us. We'll hit later. I think one of them was just being a dick because he said, "Did Bob Dole play football?" And there's a
Bob Dole.
Yes, because all the names that we're saying sound like Bob Dole. He's just being an ass.
Well, I mean, it's because you picked the old guy. So.
I know. So to recap, my team goes as follows. Defensive end, Len Ford. Defensive end, Bill Glass. Defensive tackle, Michael Dean Perry. Defensive tackle, Bob Gain. Middle linebacker, Mike Johnson. Outside linebacker, Chip Banks. Outside linebacker, Jim Houston. Safety, Dub Jones. Safety, Clarence Scott. Cornerback, Hanford Dixon. And cornerback, Joe Hayden. Donovan, give us a recap of your team.
All right. So, safeties. My secondary. Let me just read off like this. TJ Ward, Eric Turner. Then I have Tom Darden,
phenomenal,
Denzel Ward, and Frank Mendenfield. I have Pepper Johnson, Clay Matthews Jr., and Joe Sherbert. Then
rough.
Bob Golick, Larry Ogunjobi, and Myles Garrett as my front 3.
Damn, dude, that defensive backfield is so damn good. And then he had to throw in a couple losers and Sherbert and Ogunjobi.
I mean, I got a D line that can still kind of stop the run though with Golick and Ogunjobi, dude, and then I got Myles Garrett, who's just as
Garrett's a badass. That's a recent player that he is a badass. I'm not gonna make fun of you for that. Denzel Ward's a badass too. I don't care what anybody says.
Shelbert's my weak link if you want to mess around with him and get him in, some bad coverages and stuff like that.
Ogunjobi's probably a weaker link.
Really?
I mean, Sherbert does do his job. He's just not an all-time great.
That's why I like. It's just like
Shelbert's not bad. It's like when you talk to Ohio State fans and they talk about.
It's like Greco, man. He's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, like when Buckeye fans talk about Joe Germain as a quarterback, he wasn't bad. But if you talk to people that weren't Browns Buckeye fans, you're gonna be like Joe Germain, bro.
Craig Krenzel.
Yeah, exactly. Buckeye, he was okay.
Who's better, Craig Krenzel or Joe Germain?
Joe Germain.
Really?
Well, no. I'll go Craig Krenzel. Joe Germain had a hard time beating out Stanley Jackson. I'll go Craig Krenzel.
Okay.
Of course, only one of those guys has an Arena Football Championship ring.
So, it's not Craig Krenzel.
No, it's Joe Germain. So we got a question from Ryan Ring. Takaris McKinley over Adrian Claiborne? Yes, hell yes, all day long. Adrian Claiborne was good. I was upset that they let him go, especially for his low price tag. And he was pretty efficient against the Browns, but he's older. He's not really a pure pass rusher. I think the 1 year he did have really decent stat numbers. He had 6 in one game against the Cowboys, against the reserve offensive tackle. So it's kind of a misleading little stat there. Tack McKinley's got a high ceiling, and he's younger. He's only 25. Donovan, what do you think about that question?
I mean, Adrian Claiborne's clearly better than Tack McKinley. But
you think Adrian Claiborne's better than Tack McKinley?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a big like. I mean, Claiborne even put up some good numbers in the playoffs, man. Like in those 2 games, he played really well.
I didn't say he didn't play. I didn't say he. Okay, if you had to pick one of the 2 for this upcoming season, who you taking?
Oh, I'm taking Claiborne for sure. Like
really,
easily, yeah.
Because they're paying McKinley more money than they were Claiborne. They let Claiborne walk.
I think they're going off of like what McKinley maybe can. I don't know. I like Claiborne. He's consistent. He doesn't miss many games.
They shouldn't have let Claiborne walk. I agree with you that they should not have let Claiborne walk. Claiborne was cheap and he was very solid.
Man, yeah, solid.
But I do think McKinley has an insanely high ceiling. So I see him as the better player, if that makes sense.
No, I get that.
But I see your point. Claiborne's not bad. It depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, Tack's young, man. He's up, like I said, a lot of upside. You're right.
Yeah. A lot of upside if he can get healthy. They gave wide receiver Kadero Hodge the back running with chicken strip. Yeah, they signed. I was surprised that they signed Kadero Hodge back. A lot of people were psyched about that. I don't think it was very much money, so I don't have an issue with it. I don't think he's an integral part of this team. I don't think he's going to be a dude. I think that he's going to really fight for a roster spot. But I don't hate the move. I just don't see. I mean, I guess I was a little surprised because, like I said, I don't see him having a future on this team. I see them taking a wide receiver in the draft. Dom, what do you think?
Oh, that's a good question because I know a lot of people like Kadero Hodge. He's young, man. Hodge, he I know he was on the Rams a little bit before the Browns, but he's a young receiver.
Kadero Hodge?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What does he do?
He's not great at anything.
No, he's not. He's got some speed.
He's got a little bit of speed. Didn't he play special teams?
But you can find a lot of guys with his speed.
He's a really good special teams player. I know that. I know he's a hustler. You know what I mean? He works hard. He didn't really get a shot. I mean, he had COVID this year, I think, too, so he didn't really get to play too much. But they ran the ball so much. But I would keep him. Yeah, I'd give him another shot. To kind of just in case injuries happen. You don't know what's happening with OBJ. He's probably going to come back.
But we agree that OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan Peoples-Jones are all better than him, correct?
Yeah, that's their 4 receivers. He's definitely the 5th receiver on the team.
So the 5th one, it's going to be hard to make it. He's got to beat out. Now he's got to beat out a healthy Ryan Switzer, who I think a healthy Ryan Switzer is going to surprise some people.
Okay, so that's 6.
And then they're gonna bring in a new guy, whether it's through free agent. I don't think it's going to be through free agency. I think it's going to be through the draft.
Well, yeah. You can draft. I think they'll draft a receiver kind of late, like day 3.
Like with Peoples-Jones.
Yeah.
But if they get another guy, let's say they get a guy that's a lesser caliber of Donovan Peoples-Jones. Let's say they get a guy like KJ Hill. Okay, I'm so biased. I love how that's my good.
Let's say they get Tyler Vaughns. I'm biased.
I think that that's why I use KJ Hill because we know KJ Hill went in the 6th round. Tyler Vaughns, we don't really know where he's going to go.
Yeah, he might.
Someone might snag the dude in the 3rd.
Yeah,
but we know there's going to be some guy like KJ Hill
good.
sitting there in the 6th round.
Okay.
Some dude who's got a bunch of statistics, but he didn't really test very well. That guy beats Kadero Hodge out every time, I think.
More than likely, yes. But again, he kind of has that element of like he can really play special teams really well. We might keep him on the roster.
That's true. Or I'm not good at evaluating.
Or practice squad because that's somebody you can bring up and you're. Even if he's on the practice squad or whatever.
I don't know if he can be on the practice squad anymore.
Can he not be on the practice squad anymore?
I don't know how long they're gonna. That rule is intact. Or
I don't know about that.
Age. I don't know. But he was His first year was in 2018. You can't be on it past what, year 3? I don't know.
Did that change? I thought they added more.
It changed. It changed this past year because of COVID, but I don't know if it changes back.
I doubt it changes back this year.
They're not going to hang on to a practice squad. I don't think so.
That's probably a guy they would like release and then bring back if somebody got hurt.
Exactly.
Type of thing. Well, yeah, I mean, keep him on the team. Yeah, but he's going to make the team. Maybe.
I don't know. My money.
Special teams is saving him, but other than that, pure talent at receiver. No, I would rather take Switzer even over.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I like Kadero Hodge coming out, man. He's kind of like a sleeper receiver everybody would talk about all the time out of the SWAC, and I was like, okay, I like this guy. He's all right. But yeah, he's not great at anything. He's fat. I don't know. What did he run? Like a 4.5, mid 4.5?
Man, I thought it was fast for that, but you might be right because he ran. I don't know. Let's see here.
Well, that's fast for the conference, but I don't know if that's like fast. But anyway, I don't know. We gave Kadero Hodge a lot of talking time, but.
Man, no shit. All right. Yeah, I think we're done with this. We're done here. We just kicked the hour mark. Now we're just kind of wasting time. Donovan, anything you want to push? I know that you're starting your podcast up. We talked a little about your vitamin water that they're paying you, and then we talked about your
about paying me in water. He ran a 4.4, by the way,
which is fast.
Yeah,
it's fast.
Anything else? No, man. Really, yeah, this water is good. It's just water. Check it out. There's a bunch of flavors I'll talk about on my show. We're gonna talk about March Madness. Fill out your brackets by Thursday. I'm actually doing my episode Thursday evening, like right before the first game. March Madness starts. The playing games kick off. So like the Michigan State UCLA game and a bunch of other games like that. So we're talking about that. We're talking about a little bit of free agency too for the NFL. That's it. And yeah, check it out on Student Union Sports. Follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports. The name remains the same. My little name's on the ticker thing down there. So
for those that aren't
finally changed.
For those that are listening on MP3, we have our Twitter handles at the bottom of the live stream. Yeah, and I'm Josh Keatley. You can follow me on Twitter at JoshKeatley16. I am now officially writing for Buckeyes Wire. Check out my work there. I just released an article about the top transfer in the transfer portal for each position. I think it's a very interesting piece. Theo Howard's back out there again. Donovan, I know you know about Theo Howard. Theo Howard was one of my favorite players a couple of years ago when he was with UCLA. I thought he was a very explosive wide receiver. He dealt with some injuries at Oklahoma last year, putting his name back in the transfer hat. I talk a little bit about Joe Milton, the quarterback from Michigan, former 4-star recruit. A lot of former 4-star recruits on this list. Penn State's got 2 guys that put their name in the transfer portal that are on my list. I'll be doing a defensive article soon. But yeah, I'm now officially with the Buckeye Wire, so look for a podcast to be coming out. Look for my work there. Very excited. Again, follow me on Twitter at JoshKeatley16. Make sure you give us a like, listen, and review on iTunes. That's how we get clicks. That's how we get the mentions. That's how we get we fill in the algorithm. The same with the thumbs up on YouTube. This was the Browns Wire, and we are out. Thank you.